Ah, you stayed, which means you're interested in my question. Welcome back to Your Money. The President's Council on Jobs and Competitiveness addressed immigration reform, and it concluded, quote, highly skilled immigrants create jobs. They don't take jobs. And in a competitive and interdependent 21st century economy, we must attract these entrepreneurs to the United States. It's a long report. That's just a portion of it. With me now, Christine Roman. She is the host of CNN's Your Bottom Line. Richard Quest, host of Quest Means Business. Ron Hira, associate professor of public policy at the Rochester Institute of Technology. He's also the co-author of the book Outsourcing America. Let's start with you, Christine. The very companies advising the president on how to create jobs here at home in the United States are venturing into immigration reform. What do companies want?
They want to be able, and according to this particular report, they are venturing into the very sticky area of immigration reform in a very thin layer. Highly skilled foreign workers. They want to have more H-1B visas to bring people in from other countries to do highly skilled jobs in this country. They want to also have automatic work permits for any foreign student who graduates from the American university with a degree in science, technology, engineering, and math. Now, all of this is something that's been discussed many, many times. We do have lots of programs in place, including one that anybody who wants to invest, an entrepreneur who wants to invest $500,000 to $1 million can immediately get a certain kind of permit to come to the country and do that. There are a lot of different kinds of work permits and the like, but this comes at a time when you have 14 million people unemployed in this country and, what, 27% underemployment or something. So it will clearly be a politically charged debate, no question.
All right, Bill Gates seems to think there is a shortage in American STEM workers, science, technology, engineering, mathematics workers. This is what he said before the U.S. House Committee on Science and Technology. Now, this was, I'll remind you, in the spring of 2008, before the recession, but it may hold true. Although our top universities continue to rank among the world's best, too few American students are pursuing degrees in science and technology. Ron, you do not agree. You do not think that there is a shortage of science, technology, engineering talent in this country. Why not?
Well, we have a lot of evidence to show that we actually have too many science and engineering workers chasing too few jobs. In fact, the unemployment rates for computer occupations, computer professionals, and engineers are 2 to 3 times the rate that we would expect at a normal full employment level for them. In 2010, we had an average of 300,000 engineers and computer professionals who were unemployed seeking jobs. And just to point out, Microsoft, they've been in the process of laying off 5,000 workers over the last 18 months. So it's pretty hard to believe that they have a shortage when they've laid off 5,000 workers. And it's not just them. Cisco has announced layoffs of 6,500 workers. IBM has downsized its American workforce by about 35,000 over the past few years. Hewlett-Packard, 25,000.
All right, so we have to separate things, though, Ron, because we've been in a recession for the last few years. So that may be separate. Everybody in the country's been laying people off. Richard, let me bring this in, though, from a larger perspective, a global perspective of attracting talent, assuming you're not in a recession, because companies and governments have to sometimes plan for those days when times are good, and we are going to be competing for workers around the world. What's your take on this?
And that is exactly the point. Lord help me, I'm agreeing with Ali Velshi. The truth of the matter, you don't make public policy for just 1 year or 2 years. For instance, if you look at the highly qualified visas, the cap that has been on there for some years, year after year after year, industry in the US has butted against that cap and demanded more highly qualified visas. This year they're not going to. They haven't even reached the cap yet. So they're okay on this year. But the STEM visas for education, now that's a really interesting one, because the fear here is that with every diploma that you give, you'll hand out an H-1B or some sort of green card visa. And if that happens, although the prestigious universities will be doing it in a honest, bona fide way, this could be a backdoor way to wholesale, I won't say fraud, but wholesale blurring of the rules.
And Ron, you brought that point up, that if you're going to do something like this, whether you agree with it or not, there have to be safety checks in place so that you don't all of a sudden start giving birth to schools that just exist to get people visas.
Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely.
That's a very important point, but I think another important point is to separate the H-1B, which is a guest worker, a temporary non-immigrant visa, versus a green card. I favor increasing green cards, but I don't think that at least the proposals that have been on the table, which is stapling a green card to every advanced degree in STEM, is a good way. In fact, I think we should bring highly talented professionals in things like broadcast journalism as well and offer them green cards. So I think we have to be careful about disentangling temporary guest worker visas versus green cards. Very different animals. The H-1B is a program that has benefited the offshore outsourcing firms. The major Indian IT offshorers are the biggest users of the H-1B program, and literally it's led to the demise of tens, if not hundreds of thousands of American
Richard,
jobs.
what are you getting uncomfortable about there?
I'm getting the theory is perfect that I'm hearing, but the practice is anything but. Anybody looking outside the United States that's looking to get the H-1B, that's looking for that sort of diploma, that's looking to go to the United States, frankly, has an eye on a green card. That's what they want, ultimately. They're not doing it short-term with a view to a year or two.
All right, let's leave it there. Lots to talk about. It's an important issue, one we're going to talk about many times in the future. Ron Hira is the Assistant Professor of Public Policy at the Rochester Institute of Technology and the co-author of Outsourcing America. Christine and Richard, stick around. We've got more to talk about.